Shut up and sit down. Shut up and sit down.
Couple, here comes the six. Yodel hangs on for two in a row.
All right. It is Saturday night, and another edition of the Greyhound Race of the Week. We are down to the quarterfinals tonight. We are going to find out who is going to be in the Final Four. It's a great night, let me tell you. Good Saturday. Everybody out there needs to be excited because that lawsuit to overturn 13, it's coming down the back stretch, baby. Down the back stretch to get filed. Just looking for where they're going to file it, and it's coming. Finally. But need to do it right. So that being said, once again, it's been a hell of a week. As you know, last week we were in Fort Lauderdale. Got home in time, had to delay the show by an hour and some odd, and it's funny how life throws the curveball. So last week my son was going to do 2 years and get his master's of public health. Well, 3 days after we paid a deposit to a condo in Fort Lauderdale, 2 days later, Nova Southeastern comes calling the medical school saying, we'll put you in a certificate program for the next year, and then you'll be guaranteed an in the medical school in Clearwater. So, cancel out the lease over on the other coast. Fortunately, they only soaked us for the deposit. And tomorrow he's off to Clearwater. Just fortunately, we have friends in Tampa. He'll stay with them till he can find a place. And get a letter yesterday that he needs an iPad. Okay, no problem. Yeah, problem. Well, okay, $800 later on Amazon, and we have an iPad for him to take. But that's neither here nor there. The other news of the day is SeaWorld. The overweight tag team of Brian and Carla Wilson were out there whoring for their $1,000 for PETA to pay them today. And hey, Brian and Carla, if you're watching, how you doing? You guys suck shit. So, too bad you're outnumbered. Too bad you're idiots. That's okay. We had you outnumbered, and you know what? Maybe next time you'll see me up there, and you don't want to see me. But you know what? I'm gonna make one of these SeaWorld protests, and then I'm gonna go buy a ticket, and I'm gonna fucking go into SeaWorld because I love SeaWorld. So there we go. Here's a little synopsis of what happened over at SeaWorld today.
All right, it's Saturday morning out front of SeaWorld Orlando, and we are awaiting the PETA protesters. So I hope we don't scare them away, which could happen. Yep.
If you work with animals, we need to work together.
Exactly. To date, PETA has killed, euthanized over 40,000 dogs and cats. Hey, I'm just curious, what makes you an expert on sea life, Brian? Huh? Are you a veterinarian? Are you a zoologist? You know more about how to take care of orcas than SeaWorld does? Is that what you're trying to say? You are a lying scam, dude. You're pathetic. Scoundrel coming through. Scoundrel. Carla called the cops again. That guy over there called me a scoundrel. Okay, we'll pull him up. We can hold him, that's it. You bet. Radical animal rights groups like PETA, Humane Society of the United States, ASPCA, they are against working animals. They are against seeing eye dogs. If you are blind and use a seeing eye dog, that is considered animal cruelty in the eyes of these radical animal rights groups. A police officer using a drug sniffing dog, that's animal cruelty according to them. It doesn't matter if it saves lives.
They didn't get here until 10:45, so they must really love animals.
We support working animals.
It took them
We support herding dogs.
Probably took them that long to
We
walk this
support
far.
police dogs. We support racing dogs. We support hunting dogs.
Workers received some of the greatest treatment in all of the United States. Remember to honk if you love SeaWorld. SeaWorld has rescued and rehabilitated more than 36,000 animals.
I guess they're calling it quits. We won! We won! Again! Time to go home? What's the matter? Is it too hot for you? The public does not support PETA.
Oh my God, that was great. Oh, you gotta love it. I have got to make one of those. Seriously. And PETA was outnumbered. Cool. All right, I promised you guys a world premiere. Yeah, I was laughing. World premiere. Yours truly, Steve G, made another video today, and it's gonna be the start of more videos to come. So before we get to the racing, you may like this one, okay? And I may spend a few pesos to boost this one around. And I may lend it to support working animals as well, because all of my work is lent. So here you go. Enjoy this one. You've seen this commercial hundreds of times on television for the Humane Society of the United States, begging for your $19 a month, which they claim goes to help animals. But have you really stopped to wonder outside of that jacket and tote bag where your $19 a month really goes? In 2016, the Humane Society of the United States took in over $131 million in donations. Of that $131 million, 32%, or $6.11 out of that $19 a month, went to pay their salaries alone. But it doesn't stop there. 49 cents for fundraising fees, 21 cents for legal, 4 cents for accounting, 8 cents for lobbying, investment management fees, 5 cents, $1.42 for other expenses, advertising and promotion, 206, office expenses, 87 cents, information tech, 45 cents, occupancy, 36, 38 cents for travel, conferences, and other expenses, $4.80. All told, donor money wasted, $17.34 of every $19 goes to pay expenses. Only $1.66 of your money, that $19 a month where you got your jacket and tote bag, actually goes to help any animal. And that $1.66 is being very generous, because the Humane Society of the United States does not own a single shelter. The Humane Society of the United States is a fraud, but don't take our word for it. Take a look at some of the other news that's come out on them in the last few years, being publicly admonished for their fundraising practices, covering up for their CEO, who was a sexual predator and was known to hang out with other sexual predators, being caught paying witnesses to lie in court, and prosecuted under the RICO Act, having to pay the government more than $11 million, endorsing a convicted dog killer to have a dog after his team made a $50,000 contribution. And here's that $1.66, which represents no more than 0.5% to any state. Their radical terrorist agenda wants to get rid of all pets, as well as any human-animal interaction, as well as all agriculture, including meat, dairy, chickens, eggs, all the stuff that we like to eat. Our friends at Humane Watch summed it up right. Don't get scammed. Donate that $19 a month to your local Humane Society, and not the Humane Society of the United States. All right, just a little public service message brought to you by me. All right, we got some new people here. You may be wondering, what in the hell's going on around here? What is this guy doing? What's this page about? What's the show about? Well, the page, Keep Greyhound Racing, keepgreyhoundsracing.org, is just that. We want to keep greyhounds racing, okay? The only way to do that is to educate people, okay? Educate people about the sport of greyhound racing. That's what the page does. Go to keepgreyhoundsracing.org. You'll find a lot of good information there, a lot of lie busters, and general info. What we're doing here is a little fun thing. Basically, what we were doing is I was picking anywhere between 4 to 6 greyhound races a week. People would vote on all 6, 5 or 4, however many we had. And then each week we'd have a winner. Well, that winner went into a March Madness NCAA college basketball type of bracket. So once we got about 24 dogs that filled that bracket, we had people actually fill out brackets. Okay, once all the dogs were there, we printed out an NCAA-like bracket. People filled them out. About 15 people are participating. They filled them out, and they get points. Every time for the first round, you got points. It was 5 points for the first round, 8 points if you correctly picked the second round. Winners for everyone you picked in the second round. Third round was 10 points, which we're at tonight. Semifinals are going to be 14 points, and whoever wins the champ gets 22. And the winner of that challenge is going to get a $50 gift certificate, or $50 to spend at any SWA auction, or I'll PayPal you $50, or you can donate it back to support working animals, whatever you want to do with it. But whoever wins is going to get the 50 simoleons. Not a big deal, and we may throw some other swag in there. So here's where we're at. Here's the bracket so far. So today, Kentucky Fly in that top left bracket automatically has gone to the Final Four. So tonight we're going to start the process to pick the other 3. So we have the Final Four. So we're going to have Pat C. News against Swamp Yankee. PRM Arkansas versus Flamenco, the hot flamenco dancer, better known around some circles as Bunny. This is the hottest dog in the tournament, okay? The hottest dog in the tournament. Even performing better than Pat C. News right now. Way better, as you'll see later. And then we got, of course, I put the third one, the close one. This is a close one. The Heart Tug puller last week, Paint the Trail in Manzano Sunshine, so that was a Paint the Trail. Took that win. The actual results of last week, the week before, Kentucky Fly was 29-17 over Max Trudeau. That was last week. Swamp Yankee 36, KB's Brawler 10. Flamenco Dancer 34. RCB Chars run 13. And the battle of the week was PRM Arkansas versus Jackrabbit Slim, 46-43. Okay. A word of warning. Okay. If you want to vote, you got to be registered on the site. Okay. You can't wait till, I think I said Wednesdays now, because of the magnitude of putting the show together is a lot more than putting together a regular show. So you got to be registered before that. Okay, we got 3 admins on the Keep Greyhounds Racing site. All of us have jobs. We work during the day. So when you're all trying to pile in at the last minute to try and vote for your favorites, that's not going to work because we won't get to you. My job pays the bills at home, so that's got to come first. We do try and approve people as fast as we can, but it is an approval group. It's a public group, but in order to be part of the group, you got to be vetted and you got to be let in, okay? And that takes time. Especially there were profiles coming in with no face pictures. Those are immediate flag, and those are going to take forever to vet because somebody's then got to click on your profile and check you out to make sure you're not some kind of anti-racing terrorist moron, okay? No other way I'm going to put it. Everybody knows me by now. So that's the thing with voting. Hell, we want everybody to come, but we want you to enjoy the whole site. We need to promote racing in this little program. It gets a lot of views on the replay, so that's cool. But we need more. And again, on the Keep Greyhounds Racing site, we do need your help in spreading those links around so that we can get our search engines up. I haven't been able to check in a while. Hopefully I'll do it this weekend, but I'm going to spend, my son's leaving tomorrow, so I'm going to be tied up the rest of this weekend. All right, well, let's see who the top prognosticators are this far into the tournament. Unfortunately, we have 2 people that are going to be knocked out. But SWA's own Teresa Yan is up on the leaderboard with 79. Beth DePasquale is behind her with 69. Matt Schumitz is 61. Everybody up here has got a chance. Leo Stillmack, 58. Gail Fons, 58. Denise Schumitz, 56. Tris Sescolini, 53. Joyce Jackson, 51. Now you're getting down. You're going to need a lot of help down here. Tammy McIntyre at 46. David Nevius at 40. William Whitley is at 40. He is out. Lisa Poole, 38. Renee Leslie, 35. Barbara Neerling. Sorry, Barbara. Stick to the SOT dogs, it looks like. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to say you're pretty much... I don't think you have a chance, but that's okay. I love you, kiddo. Tough week for you. And you know we're all behind you. Sally Brady is out with 30. So that's where it stands right now. Okay? That's where it stands right now. All right, so I've been blabbering here for 18 minutes and 23 seconds, which is 18 minutes and 22 seconds, probably too long for some of you. Let's get to the races, okay? Hang on. Our first one we're going to have is Patsy News versus Swamp Yankee. And unfortunately, Swamp Yankee, and I love you, Matt and Denise, trust me. Unfortunately, Swamp Yankee did not have a good week, but you never know what can happen. Patsy News hasn't had much better of a week. So even though the points say 17-0, that's close enough because Patsy News, as you will see, got his points on only one race. So we got Patsy News racing at Orange Park, best bet. At a weight of 78, owner is Patrick Collins, kennels Patrick Collins, trainer Scott Jarvis, and like I said, 17 points for the week. Swamp Yankee. Swamp Yankee is from racing out of Derby Lane at a weight of 79 pounds. Owner is Matt Schumitz, kennel, capable kennel, and the trainer is Belinda Parker. Close but no cigar this week. No points. So let's go to Patsy News. Race number 1. He is in the 3-box. 3-box this race. Yeah, I'll hit the right buttons. Some here. Here we go.
And
the road, making a dash for the lead. 3 out early, Patsy News, followed by 7 and 8. Further back to the pack, and the 3 Patsy News fires down the backside. 5 lengths back to the 6 Cha Cha Cha. Further back to 4, 8, 1, 5, and 2, and the Patsy News well out in front, winding it up at the top of the stretch. 6 Cha 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 closing ground, but too little, too late. Your winner, the 3 Patsy News. 3, 6, 4, close for 4th.
Okay, a dominating performance there by Patsy News, but after that it seemed to be all downhill, because here is Patsy News' second race. And again, we start with the furthest out races. So we go, that was a couple weeks ago. Next race here, number 2 for Patsy, is the 6 box.
Here comes Rusty. Racing round 2, best bet sprint 2 and 4 break well. 7 rushes up 6, 8, 3, 1 and 5 in a net first turn in the deuce. LK's Good Golly has the lead. On the chase is Moe's Tweety. Large gap back to the 4 DeSoto. It's 2, 7, 4, 3. Gap back 5, 8, 1, and 6 had trouble into that first turn. And Good Golly continues to lead. Moe's Tweety right there. We're down to these 2. Good Golly, Moe's Tweety. LK's Good Golly wins again. 2, 7, 4, and 3.
Okay, so that was an 8th place finish. That gets you no points in this tournament. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th will get you points. So as I said, Patsy News, the first race, the first place finish, that was good in a Class A race for 17 points. Here is Patsy's last race, and he's racing out of box number 5.
Rusty. And they're off. Bursting for the lead are 8 and 1. There's 3, 2, 4, 6, 5, and 7. Oh, trouble at the corner, and the 1 has the lead. LK's Countess. Leading the field down the backside. 5, Patsy News with the 3, Wasabi. The 4's on the move, JS Range Rover. 1, your leader well out in front. LK's Countess going to run up the score from here. Down the stretch they come. Your winner, the 1, LK's Countess. 1, 4, 3, close for 4th.
Okay, so that was a 6th place finish for Patsy News. Like I said, so those last 2 races, those were the two most recent races, okay? So when you vote, I can suggest that you need to take the most recent races. So even though it says 17-0, I think this is a close one. And thank God one of my dogs just left, because he was just farting up the place. Whew. This studio stinks. As we all know, Greyhound farts are the worst. All right, here we go, Swamp Yankee. First race here is a grade C race, and out of the 8 box.
Durham Racing at the break. It's a 1, 5, 2, 4, 6, 3, 8. Past the grandstand the first time. The 1 is Outlaw on Me. The 4, LK's Paxton. OD Famous is third. It's 1, 4, 5 down the backstretch. Outlaw in Me. The 5, OD Famous. Here comes Bart's Begin Again. It's 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 6, 4 down the stretch. Outlaw in Me.
Okay, so that was the farthest out race. I believe that was a 6th place finish for Swamp Yankee. Okay, here's race number 2 for Swamp Yankee. Out of the 4 box here racing at Derby Lane.
Durham Racing in the finale. At the break, it's a 2, 5, 3, 1, 6, 8, 4. Past the grandstand the first time. JS blown away with the lead. WW Cap CNC, Flying Velveteen. It's 5, 2, 3, 8, 4 down the backstretch. It's still JS blown away. WW Cap CNC, up the rail, Flying Velveteen. It's 5, 2, 7, and 3. JS blown away.
All right, that I believe was an 8th place finish for Swamp Yankee. And the third race, which is the most recent race, is has him racing out of the one box here.
Chen. Durham Fan racing in the 7th at the break. 3, 4, 2, 7, 8, 6, 1 around the turn. Brascatellia with the lead. The 7, Broadband, second. The 4, Fiction Factory, races third. It's 3, 7, 4, 2, 8, 6, 1 around the turn. Brascatellia, Broadband, Fiction Factory, Penrose Brad, down the stretch. Brascatellia.
Okay, that was the third race for Swamp Yankee. Here is the tail of that tape again before we move on. Like I said, the score shows 17-0, but it's really, like I said, Patsy News, one win, and that win was on the furthest back race, the third race back. So if you take out that one win, so let's say Patsy News is racing tonight. Needless to say, I couldn't grab those races tonight. That would be almost impossible for me to do. And he didn't have a first, second, third, or fourth finish tonight. It would be 0-0. So when you're voting, take that into account. This is a lot closer than that point totals will indicate. All right, let's head on to our number 2 match, which is I know a little bit of a heartache for you people over at Derby Lane, and especially in the farmer kennel, because we got a farmer versus farmer dog. We got PRM Arkansas versus the red hot flamenco dancer. And here's the tail of the tape. PRM Arkansas out of Derby Lane, the big boy, racing at 95 pounds for the RCK Kennels. Our owners for RCK Kennels, and the kennel racing out of is Farmer Racing, and his trainer, of course, is John Farmer. This week, 12 points, and you're gonna love the one race he had. Last race was a doozy. So third race, you're gonna want to hang around just to see that. Even though it looks like I said, he's up against stiff competition. Probably the hottest dog around right now is Flamenco Dancer, also racing out of Derby Lane at a weight of 63 pounds, owned by Sharon Dipple. Great job today, Sharon, I might add, helping us out up there at SeaWorld. Also out of the Farmer Kennel and trained by John Farmer. And as you can see, Flamenco's hot, 48 points this week. And she was in the 40s last week. And no looking back for this fireball out of the Farmer Kennels. All right, let's go to Arky's first race. Grade C affair. He is in the 3 box.
Darrell Fan racing in the 3rd at the break. 4, 6, 5, 7, 3, 1, 8, and 2. Around the turn, it's Parasol. Up on the outside, ADH Little Debbie. 6, 4, 7, 1 past the tote board. ADH Little Debbie. The 4, Parasol. Down on the inside, Super C Bush. It's 6, 7, 1, 4, 8 down the stretch. ADH, Lil Debbie.
Okay, so a 6th place finish there for the big guy. He would then drop down to D, which doesn't help you get points even if you come in first, second, third, or fourth. But he would gather some points in this race out of the 1 box. Let's take a look.
Harrison's in motion. Darrell Fan racing at the break. 4, 6, 1, 8, 3, 2, 7, and 5. Around the turn, Moonshine Cutie Pie. Up on the inside, Kobe's Quiver. The 8, Bronski Beat. It's 6, 2, 8, 1, 3, 4, 5, and 7 around the turn. Moonshine Cutie Pie by a length. Kobe's Quiver goes to the outside. Kobe's Quiver.
So the big guy came thundering down mid-track there for the 4th place finish, which got him a few points in the grade D. Now, you got to check this out. Flamenco Dancer may be the dog of the week, probably the dog of the month. But I'm going to tell you, this performance here is got to be the race of the week. Let's take a look at the big boy in his third race from the 5 box.
Motion. Durham Fan Racing at the break. It's a 1, 4, 3, 8, 2, 5, 7, and 6 around the turn. It's the 4 Digital Asset, the 3 on the rail Sovereign Angel, the 1 is Fiesta Bait. Up on the outside, PRM Arkansas. It's 4, 5, 1, 3, and 2. It's Digital Asset, the big dog, PRM Arkansas on the outside. Down the stretch, PRM Arkansas.
Holy shit, I just got a shiver when he said PRM Arkansas. Now that is a come from behind victory. The big guy at 95 pounds, thundering. And I remember when Marianne posted that, said that he went to the stands, sold some popcorn, gave out a few sodas, bounced off the tote board, and then came back to win the race. So, you know what? I need to see that again. I gotta watch that again.
Motion.
Let's watch this guy out of the 5 box. And he's
at the break. It's a 1, 4, 3, 8, 2, 5, 7, and 6 around the turn.
Bouncing off a few dogs there.
Digital Asset, the 3 on the rail, Sovereign Angel, the 1 is Fiesta Bait. Up on the outside, PRM Arkansas.
All of a sudden, there he is in the picture.
5, 1, 3, and 2.
Look at that boy go.
It's Digital Asset, the big dog, PRM
He's like, here,
Arkansas
2, hold my beer. 1, hold my beer.
Down the
4,
stretch,
screw you.
PRM
This is my race.
Arkansas.
Sorry, I had to do that. And if I wouldn't piss off so many people, I may show that one a third time. But we gotta move on here. We gotta move on to the hottest dog in the land, Sharon Dipple's own Flamenco Dancer, and this is her first race, Grade A affair, in the 6 box.
Motion. They're open racing at the break. It's a 7-6-5-2-8-1 around the turn. JS Field of Thunder, the 6 Flamenco Dancer, the 5 JS Tina Fey, the 8 CTW Chaparral, and Flying Da Vinci. It's 6-8-7-2-5 around the final turn. CTW Chaparral on the outside, Flamenco Dancer. CTW Chaparral.
All right, well, that screwed up. That was the most recent race. That should have been the oldest race. So I guess I screwed up. We're going backwards. So that was a 6 box and a second place finish, which was good for 14 points in Class A. Let's see how bad I screwed this up.
Daryl Pan racing in the 12 at the break. It's
4
a
box.
3, 7, 4, 6, 1, 2, and 8 around the turn. Flying Prentice with the lead. Flamenco Dancer is second. It's 3, 4, 7, 1, 6, 2, 5 around the turn. Flying Prentice by 2 now. The 4 Flamenco Dancer. These two hook up and dig in. Flamenco Dancer.
Not to be denied. That's all you can say about that race. That was a first place finish. 17 points, so that's 31. And here is the last race. All out of the 6 box. It doesn't matter, 4 box, 6 box. I mean, those are 2 shitty boxes. Seriously, this dog clears the traffic around the first turn, and holy moly, here we go. Check this race out.
Daryl Pan racing in the 12 at the break. 6-2, 7-3, 5-1, 8. Around the turn, it's Flamenco Dancer. Up on the inside, Flying Tilapia. The 7 BD Wells third. It's Killer Raven fourth. 6-3, 7-4, 2 around the turn. Flamenco Dancer. Flying Tilapia right down the center of the track. Down the stretch. Flamenco Dancer.
Once again, as I said this week, another dominating performance by Flamenco Dancer. Hey, Greg, I don't know if you're still here. I see Greg Morse joined. Kentucky Fly, because at the top of that bracket, I don't know if you saw it or not, just because of the position he was in. He was in against Max Trudeau, which was a national champ. He beat him. So in that particular part of the bracket, he had no opponent, so he goes right to the final four. Let me put that bracket up again before we get to our next match here. And there's our bracket. So there it is. He beat Max Trudeau, and the way we set it up, we may have more dogs in the second half, and we'll do another one of these for the second half of the year. So we'll have Christmas Madness, and we'll run it before Christmas, though, or maybe shortly after New Year's. Run the finals, just to because everybody may be on break on Christmas. All right, so our third and final matchup of the night is a close one. We got Paint the Trail, who defeated Flat Chat Couple last week. I know that was a tough vote for many. So this week we got Paint the Trail, who races out of Wheeling at 57 pounds. Owners are Sharon Derringer, Sue Blair. Kennel runs out of Lester Rains Kennel, trained by Joel Rodden. Manzano Sunshine runs out of Bestbeck Orange Park. 66 pounds, owned by Bob Crossland and SWA's own Candy Beck. Also out of the Lester Rains Kennel, and trained by the legendary Mike Gerard. So as you can see, it's a 14-9 affair. That's shooter parking. And this is tough to do because Manzano Sunshine is racing in D, okay, and garnered 14 points. Paint the Trail, I know, is everybody's sentimental favorite. She raced in A, dropped down to B for her last two races, and garnered 9 points for her efforts. Now, you got to keep in mind in AB, it's easier to get a lot more points than dogs racing in CD. And here we've got a D dog with a 14-9 advantage here. So that is the tail of the tape. All right, first dog up in this race is Manzano Sunshine. Let me take this off. And her first race was a Class D. I said all of her races are Class D. Out of the 4 box, here's Manzano Sunshine.
Rusty. Win Racing in the 13th. 5 shows early speed. 8 now rushes up 2. Back to the 1, 6, 3, 7, and 4. And Imark Ruffles has the lead to that first bend. On the chase is the 6, Easy Corral. 5, Jesse Vargas. Back to the 4, Manzano Sunshine. But Imark Ruffles continues the lead. Easy Corral right there second. Back to Jesse Vargas as we turn for home. 6, 8, 5, and 4. It's the 6 to win it. Easy Corral.
So that's a nice solid fourth for Manzano Sunshine. She was, out of the box last. Hung out there on the rail and avoided the traffic to the right. Sort of slipped in there, so that's a nice. You can't tell me these dogs are dumb and don't know what they're doing when they're on the track. I mean, some of them. I mean, look at that, the move. I mean, if you've watched the race, and like I said, when I do this, I watch these races a lot. And in that particular race, it looked like she just sort of held back behind the pack, waited for, the 4 or 5 dogs to bunch up around that first turn. She just slipped right in and got a nice 4th place finish. So, Here's Manzano Sunshine's second race, also out of the 4 box in Class D.
Here comes Rusty. Away and racing in the opener. 1 hits a big break. 7 rushes up. 2, 4, 8, 5, 6, and 3 through that first turn. 1, 2, 7, and 5. And the 5 makes a nifty move to grab the lead. Dan Patrick 1. Fuzzy's Lucky Dog right there second. 2. GS Bit 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 6, 8. We're in single file alignment with Dan Patrick the one to catch. But Lucky Dog's looming large as we move for home. We have a new leader. Fuzzy's Lucky Dog, GS Bit. It's the one. Fuzzy's Lucky Dog.
And again, another nice late run there for the show for Manzano Sunshine. So that's a D finish 4th place, which was 2 points, and a D finish 3rd, which is 5. And then she would improve in this next race out of the 7 box. Manzano Sunshine, 3rd race.
Here comes Rusty. Away they go. First half of the twin try. 7 wants the rail. 1 push into the outside. 8-2. 5, 6, 4, and 3. And Patsy Whipsaw gets the turn first. 7 Manzano Sunshine sits second. 8 is Max Ember. Down the backstretch run we go. 1, 7, 8, 2. 4, 6. 5 and 3, and Patsy Whipsaw 3-1 on the lead. Sunshine gives chase. Max Ember sits third. The 2 is CTW Feeling Good. 1, 7, 8, and 2 on the mid track, on the lead, on the victory. That's the one. Patsy Whipsaw.
All right, a solid second. So you got a 4th, a 3rd, and a 2nd, all in the D class. 2 points, 5 points, 7 points, and by my math, that gives you 14 for Manzano Sunshine. Very steady performance. So once again, harder to rack up 14 points in Class D than it is Class A. So here we have Paint the Trails first race, and it's a grade A affair out of the 6 box.
Spunky, they're off and on the way. There's 1 out in front of the 2, but 2's not letting 1 out of sight. 8, 7, 5, 6, 3, and 4 were tangled up tight. They're breaking it up, and 5's trying to get ahead of the 2. It's BGR Field of Burn trying to take it away. AMF Hot Fudge trying to hold on from the 2 into that final turn and onto the stretch down that way. 2's hitting the gas on pass. 2, 1, 5, 3.
All right, so that was a 7th place finish for Paint the Trail. She would then drop down to B. And next race is also, it's Class B out of the 7 box.
There's Spunky, they're off and on the way. They're moving and grooving. 3's trying to stay out ahead. 1's on the inside, 7 going to the out. 2, 4, 8, and 5 in the back into the turn towards the back stretch. 3's got that pack. KBF Cahoots with no one in cahoots. As 2's digging deep, trying to catch that 3. Loco Shorty trying to be the tall one. Into the turn, on to the stretch they head. 3's down that way. It's going to be 3, 2, 1, 5.
So 3, 2, 1, 5, and Paint the Trail had the show there for a while and just could not hang on to it. Couldn't hang on to it. So a 5th place finish, that didn't get her any points. So next race is in B, and this is where she got all her points out of the 3 box. Racing in Class B.
Is on the way. There's Spunky. They're off and they are racing. How many field? It's a 4, 6, 1. 8, 2, 3, 7, and a 5. Around the turn they battle. Bart Sea Sail has a slight lead over hashtag Utopia. Then we're back to the 5 moving up. Then it's a 6, 4, 3, a 7, and 2 into the final turn. Bart Sea Sail continues with the lead. Pressure right now from the outside is hashtag Utopia, but too late. It's 1-8. Close between the 3, 5.
All right, and she would end up taking 3, the 3rd place. She would end up taking show at that would garner her only points of the 9. So once again, you have there's the tail of the tape. 14-9, closest race of the night, but it's really not that close. I think you can say that Manzano Sunshine, at least in this series of 3 races apiece, was clearly the better dog. So vote how you want. I know that one's gonna be close because you've got a lot of sentiment for Paint the Trail. Speaking of sentiment, we're thinking of not doing the polls next time and just going on points, but we'll change those rules maybe for the next one. I like the poll. Maybe we can do both and figure out a way to incorporate them both, but for now we'll still leave it at the poll. So that one is a close one, so it doesn't matter. I don't think it really matters who wins that one. I know Candy wants Manzano to win, and as in my eyes, and it's my opinion only, and Lord knows I'm just an idiot at this, so but Manzano was basically the more steady of the two because a 4th place finish, a 3rd place finish, and a 2nd place finish. That's how she got her 14 points. So she cashed points in all 3 races. Paint the Trail cashed in only 1 race, and that was after a drop down from A to B. So, like I said, the way I vote, because I do vote, but I've made it so I can only vote for the points winner. So my vote in this one will go to Manzano Sunshine. My vote in the other one, of course, will go to Flamenco Dancer. I don't know. That may be an ugly vote. And Pat C News with 17 points versus Swampy Yankee with 0. But that's the way I look at it. So yeah, Dancing with the Stars, public votes plus points. We'll figure that out. Everybody will have input. Like I said, if you got any ideas, PM me. You know where to find the fat guy, the fat 300-pounder sitting right here. Contact at supportworkinganimals.org. Contact at, I think I got contact at Keep Greyhounds Racing, and you can PM me as well for suggestions, because we want to make this fun. And we want to expose the sport to people, and we need to have more viewers. We need to have more people going to the website. Websites are doing good, okay? But when you got some of those animal terrorists with 300,000 people on their sites, likes on their Facebook sites, we need to get there. And we may very well do that after the lawsuit's filed. So those are the 3 races, and we're running at 48 minutes, so I'll keep the closing short, maybe another couple minutes. I understand that I may ruffle a few feathers, but my opinion about things. And as an outsider, some of you people who've been doing Greyhound racing for a long time, I respect that fact. Don't ever forget that I and others, hundreds of others, that are just adopters that don't make any money from Greyhound racing, we're fighting for the sport. And while you long-timers are respected, I think sometimes with anything you just got to take a step back, because some of us who are outsiders, and I consider myself an outsider, but you know what? I've been a financial advisor for 30 plus years. I know how to analyze stuff, okay? I may piss a lot of people off. I may be gruff. I may be straight to the point. You don't want to hear it. But you know what? When I can analyze stuff, I can give you a good insight. And you can choose to take the advice, or you can choose to argue it. But whether it comes from myself or somebody else who's an outsider, the bottom line is, to save racing in Florida, everybody needs to band together, whether you like me or not, whether I don't like somebody or not. I don't care if you're red, green, blue, Republican, Democrat, Independent. All I give a damn about is overturning 13 and keeping racing going in Florida, getting racing going in Missouri, keeping racing in Texas, keeping it in Arkansas, keeping it in West Virginia, and then on the support working animals side, start pushing back against these idiots that are trying to get rid of carriage racing. Push back against these 300,000 like pages like DXE, these terrorists who are planting themselves in farms, committing animal abuse and making it look like the industries are doing it. That's what it's all about. It's not just this overturn 13 in the lawsuit. It's not just about the Greyhounds, okay? If we win this suit, if we win this, even if we lose and we expose them to the public, that's a punch in the gut. Unless the whole world is just absolutely freaking stupid, when this suit is filed, it should be big news. We are filing to overturn an amendment in Florida that was passed by voters who didn't know jack crap about what the hell they were voting on. And then the rest of them that voted yes for it were just snowed. And it's amazing. I'm sorry. I said I was gonna keep this to a couple minutes, but I'm not, because I gotta tell you about this. Okay, I never mixed the politics of 13 with my Florida clients. I never broached the subject. Okay, I have a client in the Villages. She voted yes. Of course, we all know the Villages were just tainted by this crap and the lies. So we got to talking. She calls. She's just one of those clients that want to talk for an hour when I don't have but 10 minutes. But she's got a substantial sum of money with me, so I indulge her. And like I said, I don't mix my business in 13. I never talked about it with any of my Florida clients until after the fact. And unfortunately, she did vote yes. But had she had another vote today after I informed her on one of our hour-long calls, she would be a no vote. Okay? So her daughter would go from a yes to no as well. And she thinks people are whacked in the Villages. So I've never been there, but I've heard. So anyways, that's just a moral of the story, that the anti-animal rights terrorists don't want to hear that. They'll call it an excuse, or Carrie Thiel will come and say, oh, that's gaslighting, and Christine Dorchek will just, she talks and her ass cheeks move, because basically that's all it is coming out her ass. But that's a true story about somebody in the anti-racing cesspool they call the Villages for antis, was influenced by the false advertising that was propagated. So that's where we're going to leave it. The fight goes on. I know everybody's impatient. I'm the person who has the least patience, okay? And but it's coming. The lawsuit's coming, and it's closer now than it was 2 weeks ago, and that's all I can tell you. And when I say all avenues are being explored, that means that there were maybe another new avenue to explore. So with that, I'm going to say happy Saturday. Give me 5 minutes. I did not get a chance to pre-do the polls so that they popped up. So since we only have 3, it's only going to take me a little bit to type them in. And get out there and vote. And spread the word. Keep Greyhounds racing. Watch for announcements from Teresa and Jennifer. As we get closer here, they're going to be putting out more information. And they'll tell you what they can. I'll tell you what I can. I've been told what to say. I've been told what not to say. So that's all I can say. have a great night and keep those hounds racing. And we will see you next week. Unless I'm thinking of doing a special edition of the gray area at some point. I need to start doing that log. But Grow is done for the week. Give me a little bit. We'll get the polls up and start voting.
Shut up and sit down.
Down the stretch for the birthday boy. There's one skip. At 12 to 1. Flamenco dancer.
Shut up and sit down.